All right, for your second strength training program, what you're doing now is we're putting you in more stable positions. We'll be moving more load. I didn't mark on the sheet exactly how many reps to do, because what I suggest over the course of 3 weeks is that some days you're doing 8 rep days, but then you're doing 4 rep days and 6 rep days. So if you're getting 9 sessions over the course of 3 weeks, just adjust your reps day to day to kind of give the guys different stimulus on the loads. All right, so moving from top down, remember you got an upper body push, upper body pull, lower body push, lower body pull. We're going to start off the dumbbell head supported bent over row. This is the upper body pull. And so I'm going to find anything that I can set my, this is about hip high, the top of that for me. And I'm going to push my hips back to a position, come around the side. Hips back to a position here where my back's flat, my shoulders are back. I'm going to put my head in there, my feet are close together, and my elbows to my side, squeeze, and back down. Elbows back. Notice my back should stay flat in the entire rep. The reason you're here is to avoid this business where you're up and down. So again, hips are back, back's flat. Hold that position, shoulders back. Should be a little arch in my lower back. And the back posture shouldn't change at all during the entire set. And then elbows by my side, there's my neutral grip, the top, hands rotate on the way down. All right, moving on. The next one, a single arm reverse lunge. So what we're going to do here is hold one dumbbell. It's a pull movement. It's a lunge, but as a reverse lunge, I got to pull back to the front. So in doing so, I'm going to hold one hand here. So this hold here, I'm fighting rotation, I'm fighting flexion versus being counterbalanced. So I'm going to reverse lunge back, and pulling forward. Reverse lunge back, pulling forward. Back, pull forward. If you have the ability to use a slide board here, even better, where the foot would slide on the board, and you pull back to the top. But if you don't have a slide board axis, it's no big deal. You do this. And of course, that switch to this side, perform the same type of exercise on that side. The first upper body push movement is the alternating chest press. So for that, I'm going to take dumbbells here. And I'm going to move them at the same time, but in alternating fashion. So to start here, chest is up, shoulder blades down and back, heels are on the ground. And then I'm going to go from here, alternating. Notice the rotation of the dumbbells as I alternate through that range of motion. I'm going to perform the rep count on both sides. The lower body push movement is a single leg box squat. So here's the level of my box. I'm not quite to knee high. Anywhere in that area will be okay. I'm going to treat the box like I'm sitting on broken glass. I'm going to tap and drive up. I'm going to sit back to it. Tapping right back up, really pushing through the heel to shoot my hips through at the top. Hold the posture here. Tapping right back up. Tapping right back up. You can do whatever you want in the front. You can hold them here. I come up just for convenience, but either one's okay. All right, coming back to your next upper body pull movement. It's going to be a power band, tall kneeling lat pull down. We're going to use the power band because we don't have access to a cable, but this will work fine. Tall kneeling position. From here is going to turn my glutes on. I've got this hooked up top of here. Now I'm going to adjust the grip here to what I need. If I need more resistance, I'm going to grip even higher up. Less resistance, obviously lower down. Tall kneeling position, glutes are on, shoulder blades down and back. I'm pulling down, squeezing at the bottom, letting up slow. Squeezing down, chest tall, glutes are on. Pulling down there again. That'll be what you make of it. Adjust your grip accordingly for the rep count you're working at. Lower body hip dominant movement is a bar loaded glute bridge or a hip lift, kind of like we did in the prep work. What you want to do is take a bar, wrap the bar in a towel, otherwise it's not going to feel good. But what you're getting here is you're driving through the heels, flexing hips down, and then you're shooting them up through. So again, this is work the glutes and the whole backside chain. I'm going to rest on this bench with the bench just under my shoulder blades. A little low down and drive up through the heels. Load down, drive up through the heels. Flex down, drive up through the heels. Next you'll move on to the upper body push, which is a BOSU push-up plus. So we progress from first program to this. When we use the BOSU ball as opposed to a regular stability ball, we can load a little bit more. This is more stable than a regular stability ball. Otherwise, it's a push-up movement. Plank is your #1 priority. And we're moving our elbows back. We're tucking them back. We're not flaring them out. We're not poking our head forward. So brace, cores on, here, up, and then there's my plus. Now, that's easy and everybody's clean. There's a couple things you can do. You raise your feet up behind you. And you can load by putting a plate on your back. If y'all have chains, you can put chains on anything to load, but don't lose sight of the plank. If the plank goes or the posture goes, then you got to back it off and get back to a good fundamental movement. Our last movement is a dumbbell linear lunge. So this is using what we trained in the prep period. If you remember in prep, we went through this. So now we're just going to load that with dumbbells here. Again, more dynamic movement because you've got to decelerate much more force as you strike. You're going to strike heel, middle of the foot. So shoulders are back. Make sure that doesn't roll forward. Stay here. Heel to middle. Push back. No flexion, extension of the trunk. Heel to middle. Push back. The toe should be up. Push back. I'll perform the rep count on my right leg and then switch to my left. Okay, so for the 4 fillers now that show up in between the strength training lifts, you got first to stir the pot, which shows up twice. This is for core stability. So for stir the pot, I'm going to put my forearms on the ball. My hips are up, glutes are on, and I'm just working circles here for 10 seconds. I'm just stirring that pot and not allowing my trunk to extend. Another filler is a Spider-Man shift, which you've done before. This is for hip mobility, thoracic extension. So for that, remember you'll take the foot just outside the midline here, shift forward and back. Forward and back, and get your reps, in this case 5 on each side, as a filler. Then another filler is a side plank. Of course, with that, we're just going to take a side position, preventing rotation. Head's in line. Stand here, hips are forward. And I'll hold that for my 10-second count. And then switch around. Make sure that is a perfect alignment from ear, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, all the way down. And then knee to knee is the other filler, which we've done in prep work. Here's your hip rotation, internal rotation. Is that push forward? Those are your fillers, and that's your program 2.